be host, panelist, caster. No stopping you.
What kind of boots are you?
And what are you?
I
That
am
leaves
Phase boots.
I'm a phase boots because
No, you're mana boots.
everybody just walks right all over me.
No, you're face boots because you give everybody energy and mana to be energetic and happy all the
Mana
time.
boots, yeah.
Everybody just walks
you're
right
mana
through
boots.
me.
Everyone
You
just
power
uses
us all,
you.
Flex.
Sucks your life force.
Gentlemen, we have got a draft for game number 1, Virtus Pro versus Navi, and we talked about heroes just now about which would be important. There's no Chan, no Enchantress,
And there is a
Beastmaster
Beastmaster.
is
Grab right
for
away.
Navi. Now, Navi also runs it as support, right?
Oh, boy.
Shit, these guys got a
It's
plan.
on.
Where's your roar at now?
All right,
Damn.
all
Oracle
right.
just dispels that instantly. Beautiful. And the pressure on the mid lane, you talked about that, Shiver?
Mm-hmm.
You have an Earth Spirit in the draft. It makes
Yeah.
it very easy to pressure
Yeah,
Dendi.
Well, I mean, welcome to How to Beat Navi, you know?
Yep.
Pressure Dendi and find a way to deal with the other big stunner in the game. And it looks like that with their first 2 picks, pretty good so far. But oh no, it's IO. Not good. I mean,
not.
an IO pick, I mean, it's not all about the mid now. It's about, are they going to jump on your face with a tiny, maybe a Sven, which Navi like to run, and just bash you? What do you guys think?
They don't like to run tiny.
I said they like to run Sven.
Yeah.
A tiny or the Sven?
Maybe a tiny Sven.
Nice try.
They don't even like to run Sven that much.
You don't like Sven.
They pig it a good bit.
You
They like unusual combos. Like we'll see like IO quad mid. Like they just like IO like a standalone a la carte IO. They just like the IO.
Vanilla
To
IO.
steal Kano guys.
God,
Brilliant phrasing.
I hope I get a spin in this game, LD. I'm gonna shove it
You're
in
gonna
your face.
There
murder.
will be
You're gonna
so
shove that
many.
Sven
Okay.
right down my throat.
It will be the I told you so dance.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about why they picked Beastmaster and IO together. Like the
Sure.
synergy is insane. You know, you have the Beastmaster Hawk to scout out ganks. You just roar someone and you can immediately relocate, and that's like a very easy pick off any stage in the game. And then you can just go back to farming on your core.
Don't you?
Can you?
He doesn't even care.
You can't
They're
play
losing it.
Jesus. Dream League, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway.
So they're gonna ban Night Stalker. This is entirely about having the vision
Yeah, it's a
superiority
kind
more
of
than anything.
the Beastmaster.
Yeah. Obviously, if you have an Ags or even just being nighttime, you have a pretty good chance of dealing with the Beastmaster Hawk Vision.
Mhm.
So.
All right, well, next pick, we've got a lot of nice bands. They do not want that push. No Chen, no Enchantress, no Lycan. Stay away from our towers. No split push for us, please and thank you.
So we know Digirao is a very versatile carry, and we know that OD or Slacks really want to see the Sven.
Basically the
It's
same
gonna-
person.
Just wait for the Sven pick. Oh, man.
But
Oh.
which hero would you like to see for Digirao this game?
Gyrocopter is really good with IO.
Yep.
I think plays well around the overall Navi tempo and game plan, and probably his most played hero that's still left. So I would say Gyro is an option. Other than that, nothing hugely comes out. I don't know if they will even pick his hero right away. They may try and wait and see what VP have planned.
Yeah, I agree. They usually go for kind of summons, and they've actually banned out pretty much.
Yeah, the Prophet
them?
and the Lycan are his two really big heroes
Yeah,
right now.
definitely.
I think more likely we may even see just the Dendi hero coming off the board. Queen of Pain is probably the big one.
Juggernaut is coming to mind again. It's good with both teams, and I think it actually might be a pick actually for Navi. You know, you combo it with the IO, the healing ward.
Oh.
Well,
Now this is not like a go-to Navi pick, but VP, I almost want to say a bit of a block pick, grabbing the Queen of Pain.
Huh. Just don't want Dendi to get it, or what?
I mean, not purely they don't want Dendi to get it, but it's a nice...
That certainly wouldn't help.
it's gonna be either
It's a
Invoker or
2-for-1
Queen of Pain,
special,
right?
though.
Because they still have Invoker in the pool, so you now know that Denny
Death
is gonna be
Prophet
the Invoker.
Is definitely a pushing hero.
This is
that
about
Navi
winning.
like.
This is also about winning the
Or
mid
Death
lane.
Prophet,
Like
yeah.
you get Earth Spirit, Queen of Pain. That's a very strong dual lane, and it takes away one of the best heroes to avoid the Earth Spirit ganks, which is Quap with the blink out.
Yeah.
so.
All right, well, we've been seeing a lot of Wind Ranger coming out of the mid as well.
Oh,
How
yeah.
does it,
Wind
how's it
Ranger's
shape
still
up
good.
here?
When we interviewed Dendi yesterday, he said we picked Windrunner to counter the armor strategy, and they haven't really got any, buffing heroes like that.
Yeah.
There are not much physical damage. Either.
Exactly. So
Okay.
There's, I mean, the other Dendi heroes that come to mind are Invoker as well as Puck. Invoker is very vulnerable to ganks, so I think he's a bit less likely.
oh boy,
And this is the potential push for Navi, grabbing the Witch Doctor
picking
now.
Batrider into IO is very risky as well. One of the best counters to the last two.
Yep. And,
So-
we saw that a lot in a game yesterday, right? I mean,
The day
just
before, I think.
The day before.
Yeah.
Man, time flies when you're with friends like these.
Aww.
But
Yeah, not to mention Beastmaster, who can often scout the Batrider ganks
Yeah.
and the path of initiation, as well as just roar him immediately when he jumps in.
It's kind of similar pick to the Juggernaut. They have the dual heal with the IO. Witch Doctor. The combination is ridiculous. If you're tethered to someone, it's pretty much impossible to kill them with the lack of burst damage they have right now, I guess.
All right, well, last pick coming out from Navi. We are waiting to see what Dendy's hero could possibly be. Could be the mid Witch Doctor. I've run it before. Buy some tangos. Some branches. Buy some fairy flies. A lot of right click, LD.
No.
Do you even know what game we're casting right now?
There's the Tiny.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, yeah,
Bro. Tiny. Never ever. Yeah.
Well played. Well played.
Oh boy.
Well played.
Oh,
Well
that's a
played.
very
Bro,
strange
what's that
pick.
saying about broken clocks and all that?
Oh dang, LD. Oh god. Now round it out with a spin. Pick a spin for no reason. And then we'll
Just
be
because
perfect.
you can.
Then I'll just leave. If
All
they
right,
if
no,
they pick
no.
the Sven, I'll just
I may
Really?
have
I'll
had
just get out.
a guess there.
Actually,
but
the
I've already
surprise
left
is
once.
that Witch
I'm gonna
Doctor's
get put in the
running out
lever queue if
Magnus.
this waits.
We have seen
Navi
Navi
picked the
running Magnus, but mostly with the Juggernaut, yeah. I'm not sure if I was expecting that here, but you still have Invoker, you still have Wind Ranger in the pool as well, so...
10 seconds remaining.
So we're looking for a core for VP.
Yep.
Look over the
Yoku.
kitty.
Yoku core.
Okay.
Is Spectre an option here?
Yeah, it's too bad they need a core.
It's
you
pretty
got-
hard to play Spectre against Beastmaster. Your lane doesn't go that well.
But you get the Fusel Blade, and basically one Haunt and
I like-
Io is
I
dead,
like-
and Tiny's out of mana.
So you want something that can ideally deal with the tiny burst. So I mean, Juggernaut isn't terrible. Pretty good at sniping the IO potentially. Clinks comes to mind as well as a hero that can hunt the IO, give vision a bit.
If you pick Klings,
Very
though, you're
mobile.
kind of sort of lacking on lockdown early game. You know, you sure you have Lasso and
Yeah, they're very reliant on the lasso.
Yeah.
But I mean, what other safe later is really gonna solve that problem?
Yep. Oh wow.
It is the Spectre.
nice one,
Thank
Shiver.
you.
The Spectre.
It's not gonna be the easiest Spectre game though.
It's
Yep.
tough.
Up against the Beastmaster already, with the pressure, like the timing of a tiny IO.
It puts a lot of pressure on your offlaner as well to make the space. And
Yeah. Now I might be wrong. This would be the first time,
Mhm.
but is this going to be more of a mid to late game build? I mean, how much early game do both these guys have?
I think this, like, you look at the drafts, yes, Spectre is one of the hardest carries in the game. Tiny IO is a late game combo
Yep.
but if it needs to be, but these teams will want to fight early. So as soon as the first Haunt is ready, the relocate's online, like they will be going for ganks. They will be looking for pickoffs.
Okay.
The game may end up going late, but it's not going to be like, let's just farm for the
Right.
late game. It will be, we're too bloody and bruised to actually push your base, so we'll wait a little bit later on.
Understandable. All right. Well, LD, what would you think would be a good pick here?
I don't know. You're the expert now, Jake.
Oh,
so.
okay. Well, geez. Typically, in this situation, I don't see anything particularly good.
Puck.
So I would have to go for...
They need someone
Puppy,
to.
huh?
I mean, they have the Beastmaster to start the fights.
I like
Having
that.
another hero who can just get involved early would be nice here. So if it's a tiny IO mid, you're looking for something that goes well with a Witch Doctor.
Oh,
Or
we're
you
just
just go
gonna...
back for
Oh my
Invoker.
god,
Gonna
this
go for
push. You have the
As I
Beastmaster
mentioned-
aura, you have Alacrity on the Tiny, you have Overcharge. He is going to destroy your base in seconds if you lose a fight.
Right, but we talked about how easy it is to gank the Invoker on this one as well, so...
So
Mm.
it's
You got your
Invoker.
Air Spirit hanging around the whole
It's
time.
it's probably going to be tiny IO mid.
Yep.
I'm thinking with Invoker, Witch Doctor, safe lane.
There are boxes on the stream.
We'll see.
Right
We're
there,
excited.
where
We're
you
too
want your
excited.
name to be had.
Navi.
What do you think, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think, Navi?
Invoker.
I mean, I don't think it's like an obvious outdraft by any means for
Oh,
either
fair
team. I think it more comes down to execution, and Navi has just been playing more consistently. So I go with Navi as well.
Gonna have to ride the train this time. Yeah, I agree 100% with LD. It's just they've been playing better.
Really?
Even drafts. I'm going with you, buddy.
I do feel like Navi has been playing better, but I will be a devil's advocate and I will play
I don't think anyone should be
a
agreeing with
Virtus
me.
Pro.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. Weren't you wrong last time?
Virtus
Put me over
Pro.
with
knows?
Shiver.
Shiver is the
Switch.
VP
Put me
picker.
with Shiver. I forgot. I was
Get off
sided
my
with
team.
LD
Yeah,
last time.
get off the Navi
I've,
side.
I've
jump
had
as well,
100% win rate so far, but
put
we'll
me with
find
Sheeves.
out. Virtus Pro can do this one. The second game will go to Navi, but we'll find out though. We're actually going to see the game before we draw conclusions. It's time for game one of Virtus Pro versus a Navi with OD Pixel and Draskell.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the casting panel. We're ready to get ourselves into the second series of the day. It's Navi up against VP, of course. We've already seen them once so far today up against the side of Vega Squadron. Did manage to 2-0 them. They're back now, and they're picking up the spec. Something that didn't work for Vega earlier on this evening. We'll see if they're able to do it again in return. This time VP and Navi pulling something out a little bit different, something that we don't see all the time from them. I mean, very infrequently. Tiny Iron, I don't think I've even seen it before with this lineup from Navi.
It just functions really well against the heroes that VP have. You know, you can apply pressure with it. I was actually thinking more along the lines of CK instead of Tiny, because at that point they pretty much had no way of dealing with Phantasm. You know what I mean? It's like you jump in and you hope that you kill him before he pops it, or you get like an Orchid on Queen maybe. So it would have been rough. But Tiny's still pretty much the same function. You kill the base really fast, you're really strong in team fights, you're tanky, you got high burst damage. So yeah, I think for this game, the Spectre synergy with the Bat Rider is obviously there. It's good against IO. It's good against like squishier supports. But again, it's a matter of how much can they get during the early game and how much pressure are Navi going to be applying with these heroes. The one thing, too, that you can look to on the side of VP if you're a fan of them is the fact that Oracle is pretty much a de facto counter against Beastmaster. So as long as Aloha Dance is in a good position, you're going to be seeing a lot of false promises on some core heroes, and that can be kind of the make or break for these team fights.
I think something interesting to talk about as well, the laning decision. They are going to stick with Denny in the mid and the Invoker. You know, obviously with the Tiny and IO, there's always that wondering whether it's going to be mid. But you feel Navi are going to feel very confident with having this Tiny in the safe lane and just keeping Dendy in the mid lane as per usual. Yeah,
I think it's okay because art style is most likely going to stick around. And to be honest, this pairing of the Witch Doctor and the Invoker is a stronger lane. So we're going to see General here get harassed quite heavily. But I do think, okay, he's just turning around, he's going ham. Roll in.
Oh, yeah, it's going to catch him because of that turnaround. Now with the dagger coming out, General could be in trouble, and VP looking to try and find their first blood. He pops the Fairy Fire, Yoku diving deep. But they will get it, Yoku. Does he pay with his life in? No, he just gets himself out of range, and he is prepared for the lane. He's got 7 tangos on him.
He wanted to suicide, but the camp is blocked. So now he has to run all the way back. That is actually really bad for him. But, you know, because of that, General's going to get a lot of experience. So sometimes as an offlaner, you have to make the sacrifice of, okay, I'm going to die, but at the very least, I know I'll get my level 3. That's pretty much a sacrifice that's being made here. He might even get Yoku.
Ooh. I mean, General.
He does not care.
He's going straight in. Seeing what he can find. Now, Yoku's going to take a bit of time to get himself back up to fighting shape. Mid lane, Sunstruck onto No Fear, and the right cliffs will do it. Dendy gets himself a kill in return. Navi bringing it to 1-1 on the board, and yeah, Spirit's rotation to the mid punished, and G, he's not going to be happy with that.
That's a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, in this lane, even if it was a 2v1, I don't think G is going to be suffering in the experience department. It's mostly just not being able to get free CS. That's really the issue, because double deny is hard to deal with. But all things considered, you know, it's a pretty even laning phase. Tiny obviously getting the best of this, just due to the fact that Spectre is a weaker laner, and the offlane Beastmaster is able to actually pressure a decent amount.
Yeah, and talking about the offlaner for the side of VP in return, how much the Bat can put on the pressure for this Tiny, and at the moment it doesn't seem a lot. You know, Tiny 11 for 3, running pretty good at CS. Radiant's Courier actually being taken down though, and G, and they'll be punished for that one. They will find him. I think they get themselves a second one for that one, but Courier down. I don't think it had anything on though, did it at the time?
Well, Dundee got his salve, so yeah,
he got the salve in time. Bottom lane. Well, we talked about FNG not being able to do anything to slow down the Tiny's farm, but he actually managed to find himself a kill there. Napalm stacking up and moves in with the Firefly. There's 2-2 on the board, and VP with a courier advantage as well.
And to be honest, Bat Rider against this lane, if the Witch Doctor is not around, you don't have enough burst is really the issue to kill the Bat. So if you go for a commitment, you use both your spells, and he just starts going on you, you get 4, 5, 6 stacks of napalm. You could very easily see a solo kill, and that's exactly what happens here. So FNG playing very well, realizing the rotation was coming out.
He's on a Aloha Dance, who has just tanked a tower shot. I guess with Yoku still around, it's hard for General to go in for that squishy kill.
He could get daggered, and then you're never going to catch up. But both offlaners actually getting a decent amount here. Obviously, FNG getting the better of it. Bat Rider just an obnoxiously strong laner in the early game.
Eyes on this top 4-minute rune as well. We'll see who's able to claim that. FNG trying to do his best here to disrupt the actions of the safe lane of Navi, and will be able to grab and secure himself this 4-minute rune. Double damage for the Bat Rider. Artstyle grabbing the top bounty rune for himself. Now Face Boot's now done on Suspect. Yoku, he's not having a hard time, and neither is Dichirasa. Both safe laners really are finding a lot at the moment.
Yeah. The thing that's interesting about the Tiny IO versus a Spectre is that they both pretty much play the same way. They just use their ultimate to go to the team fight, and the rest of the time they're just sitting around and farming. You know, so Spectre obviously has Haunt, IO has Relocate. That's going to be the play style for both these teams. But it's going to be like the Batrider finds Initiation, and then there's a Haunt. Or if you're Navi, the Beastmaster finds a Roar, then there's a Relocate. So their initiation and how they take fights is almost identical. It's kind of funny, actually. Just the burst damage that Navi have with the Tiny is going to be... Actually, it might be about the same as VP's, considering the fact they have a Queen mid and not an Invoker. Maybe a bit scarier on the side of Navi.
A nice play from a lower dance. We'll be able to de-ward the ward that Artsal had just dropped down on the high ground.
Yeah, good stuff. Vision control definitely in favor of VP right now.
On the spawn lane, thanks to that DDFNG, able to find himself a fair bit of CS. No kill though. But still, he's going to be very, very happy with the progression he's found so far on the Batrider. At the moment, things yet to really kick off in terms of action. No fear though. Finding Artstar. We'll just herd him back out of their own jungle. And Dendi still in the mid lane. How are you looking in terms of CS? It's 24-11. He gets the 17 for 8, but obviously you have to consider the fact that Dendi has been receiving a little bit more help than G has in the earlier stages of this lane. And so all things said and done, G holding up pretty nicely in this mid lane.
Sí, he's not doing too bad. You know, he's closing in on level 6. He'll be able to get some boots and a TP soon, go for a counter gank if need be. Oh, that IO living life on the edge.
I mean, if this Earthspirit hits his spells...
Well, they have a ward, so they know there's a tether target on the high ground.
Okay. Turn to top lane though, low dance, he's trying to walk this off, Artstar chasing him down with the balls, bottom lane they go in, Suneko, 4 stacks of sticky napalm, FNG moving in as well with the Firefly, trying to get himself over the IO, should be able to do it, and the Avalanche holding him back, and FNG, can he get it? He will, one more touch across the tree line, will find the kill, there'll be the toss up, they're trying to turn it, well I say they, Ditcher on his own is, G's come down with a rotation as well, meanwhile, Dendi was able to find the kill onto Aloha Dance, as he chased him up past the top with the and caught him with the Sunstrike. So still it's 3 for 3. Things remaining fairly even between these two sides, and it feels to be the start of a very close match, this one.
Spectre's pulling ahead in terms of overall farm too, just because of Suneko going for that aggressive play in the river. Gonna see an Avalanche actually whiff here from Ditcher. He's trying to go for Dendi, but just didn't hit him quite in time. But because of the fact that Yoku's item timing is going to be on point.
Oh, absolutely. 7 minutes in and he's got phase with the Hornet available.
This is the exact timing they're looking for. The only thing now that they need to make sure that their entire toolkit is available for fighting is obviously Magnetize, and then having the Blink Dagger on the bat with level 6. But they're just going even without Blink or Lasso. Like, they just smoked up. Could just be running straight towards top lane here.
I'll start, seeing if he can set something up here. Drops out the cast. There's the Roars well into the Sunstrike. It's a clean one. Yoku taken down. And a big kill for Navi, but Dendi, he's feeling the heat in the mid lane. FNG coming in with the Firefly. G jumps forward with a roll forward here from No Fear, connecting onto Dendi. Dendi, can he be kept alive by Artstar's heal? 3 stacks of sticky nail, but he should be fine, and he will. Now comes the turnaround. Ditcher, toss an Avalanche onto FNG. Needed one more touch, but FNG gets himself up, and he keeps the stacks of sticky napalm up on Dendi, but he can't really go back in now. Needs to be a bit careful. Stun from No Fear, trying to finish the job off onto Dendi. Can he do it? He can. Dendi will get taken down here. Yoku's haunted in. They're looking for more. The Sonic wait for G, clip it onto 2. 2 kills for the side of VP. They want to try and find Ditcher. Throws out the Avalanche, will take down the Earth Spirit, but he will pay with his life. Yoku, double kill. Perfect team fight participation there from the Spectre, getting himself in. It ends a 3 for 1, and VP there with a favourable push and a huge Sonic wave from G as well to help clean things up.
Man, that was such good positioning. And it's showcasing the weakness right now of Navi's lineup without having the IOB level 6. You know, having to run the Tiny all the way there, not just being able to relocate and counter gank, just straight up. BP abusing the fact that their Spectre, like level 6 timing, is obviously always going to be faster than a support.
Yeah.
So taking a very fortuitous engagement, getting a lot of momentum, 3 kills, 2 of them were cores as well.
That couldn't have been a better haunt for the man. That was...
He walks away with like his urn with a charge left after being full HP, 700 gold.
Yep. That's pretty much the dream fight at 8 minutes for a Spectre.
Yeah.
Just to turn up and, as you said, be able to take down 2 cores plus 1. And watch yourself out of it with the urn charges. So now your lane sustain is going to be pretty ridiculous. He can head back there, farm up pretty safely until he gets the haunt back online again. And it's going to be a question really of how much Navi can do about that. Obviously, no sign yet of the level 6 on Suneko's IO, so relocate ganks won't be available as of yet. And all in all, just a very nice play there from VP. And Navi unable to turn that one
Seneko.
around.
He's running around the river. Oh, he's fine.
And FNG's back. I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of compared FNG to General at the start of the day and talked about General's back, but FNG this game, I mean, he's 2-0-3. We saw, you know, he has been keeping the Tiny and IO on their toes, and he's been turning up to the fights at the right time, and they've just not been able to kill him. We've seen him in 2 situations where FNG just keeping himself alive.
I think, in all fairness, FNG has the easier lane. Because Artstyle was sitting mid for quite a while, so you know the secondary support's not there. And then you can just keep applying sticky. Until the Tiny hits like 5 or 6, the burst is not going to be scary enough for you to even really die to.
Or mid lane, if the Spirit can hit spells on Dandy, they could try for it, but Dandy heads back.
There's no Sonic Wave,
Yeah.
so without that, I don't think they have the damage to kill. Seneko now finally level 6.
There we go.
This is the time where we're going to start seeing some Beastmaster roaring to relocate. They might even just TP Deira back to base too, or does he want to stick around? Because the thing is, since the IO TP'd away, now he can't use relocate until he runs all the way back to lane. Which means that this gank, if they wanted to try to go for one, is going to be a little bit more delayed, maybe, than what they want.
Let's see what they can find, General on Artstyle. How far is Artstyle away from level 6 in his Death Ward?
Or are they just going to relocate in
it's
Dendi, I
halfway
guess?
through 5.
Yeah. So the Roar comes out, Sunstrike should be enough to kill either of the supports at this stage. Only 700 HP on the Oracle.
There's a G in the jungle as well here. General, the smoke, getting dispelled there. No messing around. Straight onto a low hard dance. The burst
Oh, no.
isn't quite up at the low dance. He might just be able to turn it here. Keeps himself alive, ults himself, turns around. They'll take down Artstyle and VP just like that, jumping right back into the faces of Navi. Now in comes Ditchera, but he's been lassoed up. G trying to focus Seneko, trying to bring it down, but in fact the heal from a low hard dance actually helping Seneko keep himself alive for the time being. General being chased down the iron, ticking him down the flame break, should be enough to tick him over the edge. 29-11, he's gone. It's a killing spree for FNG. And VP, just like that, turn it around. Aloha doesn't go down. And Navi just a bit of a mess there with that gank attempt on the side of VP as they were ready to fight.
Oh! Okay, that was close. Okay, so basically what happened is they get the Roar, the Sunstrike comes through, but the Haunt actually split the damage on the Sunstrike as Yoku...
If they can get Yoku here, is there the savior? There is Aloha dance. Can he do it? Oh, no, he can't. The right clicks were enough for Navi.
That was close.
Yeah. And Navi needed that. Spec was having a pretty good game so far.
Is under attack.
Yeah, his kill contribution obviously very high because he didn't start fighting until he had Haunt available. That fight was no exception.
Aye.
Another Sunstrike. Close. But that was just unfortunate and really fast reaction there from Yoku to make sure that the Haunt stays Aloha Dance. That's a dead queen right there.
That was just the final tip there from Ditchera with that fist. It was a close one, but I mean, certainly Spec and Quap are dead, and Navi say, all right, you may have won the last 2 team fights, but we're finding the big kills in return, and a tier 1 in the mid lane. So Navi bringing it back here, 7-8. And with the favorable farm as well, as we see the board, Tiny and Spec pretty much neck and neck, but Dendi on his Invoker at the top, 5.7k against G's 3.2k on the Queen of Pain. I mean, this man, he knows how to farm on the Invoker.
Absolutely. I mean, any extra Invoker is going to get a tremendous amount of farm, but Dendi's been known for Invoker for probably about as long as I've played Dota.
Probably about as long as I've lived.
Yeah, he's forever. It's weird now, right? Because you used to think of Dendi as like the young player, but he's actually not so young anymore, Owen. He's growing up.
He's a big boy now. And Seneko getting stunned up. The horn coming through as well. The Sonic Wave will clip Dendi, but Seneko, he's gone. Dendi as well. And just like that, the power of Horn jumping in, making these fights very hard for Navi to kick back in time. And FNG's got an invis, and he's chasing down Ditchera. Ditchera heading back into the tower. A little low on the mana front. FNG, is he going to try and go for this one? He's still got a couple of bottle charges, trying to keep the sticky napalm stacks up. If you get the third base, a little bit off point with that one, and Ditchera might just turn it here. Pops down the avalanche. Arstell's coming as well. The toss back underneath the tower. FNG in a bit of trouble. The sun will not catch either of the members of Navi, and they'll find that one. FNG hanging around a little bit too long and getting a little bit too greedy, looking for that tiny kill.
Yeah, I bit off a little bit more than they could chew, but it's kind of understandable because you see the Corp under the tower with like no support right now. You got really good aggressive wards, so you feel like very confident in taking that dive. Unfortunately for FNG, he dives before Blink, and he was sitting at around 2,000 gold, I think, before he dropped there.
And Yoku, not like this.
That's not where you want to be.
Another spec death. Navi really finding the kills that matter. And the objectives too. We saw them take down the tier 1 mid, and now looking for another tower on the bottom lane. They can't do anything about this by the looks of it, VP.
I think the Spectre always has to be like on the opposite side of the map as the IO and the Tiny if you can make it happen. Because the way that they're winning is every single time they can just use the... Oh, roar. See you later. But the way they take fights is have Spectre farm, ult in, don't just be there. Because if you're there, it's like the same thing as playing an IO Tiny like Navi are. You technically want to go for that pairing because then you're not getting any unexpected extra heroes in the fight, you know what I mean? You know exactly what kind of fight you're getting into. So a lot of the time it's hard because you just have really good positioning whenever you haunt in because you can choose who you go on. You can just go back and forth between whatever illusions. So I think it's just much safer to have Yoku always be away from the IO Tiny if possible.
Now, going back to earlier, obviously where we saw FNG stinted in his kind of progression towards that blink dagger, he needs to play it safe now. 1900. They need that bat blink, I feel, for the next
yeah, they really do.
potential.
They're starting to rely on his initiation because unlike a lot of the games that we see Virtus Pro, G's not really doing much in terms of tempo control because he played against a 2v1 mid. They gave Dendi a very easy lane, and now G's playing from behind on a hero that can be bursted by 2 or 3 members of Navi with relative ease. And because of that, he's died solo to Ditira. I think he's got like 3 deaths to his name. Which normally you look to G and he's the guy who's like, all right, I'm controlling the game for you. I'm making room for Yoku to farm. But this time around, Navi have done a very good job at shutting him down. And Queen is not a good hero from behind.
No. Especially against someone like Ditcher, with drums and a very, very close to Ags as well. I mean, suddenly the burst damage, he's not going to care too much, especially with Seneko backing him up with the damage reduction.
Yep.
And here we have the push.
So apparently, according to this stat, is a 90% win rate if Dendi has more than 4 kills by 15 minutes.
No, 100% win rate. Because it's all previous 9. So this is the 10th game.
Oh, yeah,
so
okay,
every game that he's played where he's got this amount of kills, he's won.
Okay.
So that's another stat
game
you want to
2.
be seeing if you're a VP fan.
Might as well just remake right now. But I do think that VP have a very good chance still. Their team transitions fairly well for late game.
Here's your combo again. They even sending the relocate to make sure the job's done. It was just an Echo on his own, ready with the balls out.
If that keeps happening, it's going to be troublesome. But really what's making the biggest difference to me is the offlane hero itself. It's not necessarily that General or FNG are having a better game. It's just because in this type of very split pushy, small skirmish scenario, VP don't have a vision hero except for the Spectre. And if the Spectre isn't just popping Haunt to grant vision for Batrider, then you don't have that just consistency of Hawks. You know what I mean? You have 2 Hawks out for a couple of seconds overlap, and then you're consistently just knowing where you can go, knowing what fight you can take. And just that advantage alone, I think, is pushing Navi a little bit over the edge in terms of what VP are able to handle.
Maybe with this blink reveal they can find some, but no, Dendi, he's got the FNG in, the Yules, the combo as well, and FNG's gone. Tossed up, G will jump into the back lines with a Sonic Wave, the Magnetize as well, doing a hell of a lot. Fortune's end onto Snake up, and Snake trying to keep his team alive, but they've already lost 2. Double kill for Ditchira in return, Yoku chasing down Dendi. Ditchira tossing Axie in a Loa does as well, which is going to allow Loa does to get the final burst damage onto Dendi. Yoku looking for more, it's only General and Ditchira left alive. Can VP try and chase for more? Ditchira actually trying to go back in on Yoku, but the saves there from Aloha does. Popping the false promise. Fortune's at Ditchira in place. VP now decided to back out. There's a buyback from Seneko, and he's going to be boosting Ditchira back up to strength into this fight. So Ditchira can look to try and find some more for Navi. Turns in onto Aloha Darts, takes down the Oracle. Dominating streak for the man. Can they get more? Yoku reveals himself. There's a ward there. They've got the vision. The roars out. FMG now coming back into it with the lasso onto General. G's there as well with the combo. The Avalanche bursting G very low. Will be able to blink out. Seneko's got it. That's a dieback. Ditchira getting himself a double kill. Still alive at the time being. No Fear and Yoku trying to chase him. General throws out the axes, the book as well. No Fear's gone. Now the cast global pretty much flying across onto Yoku. General moving in. The Sunstrike from Dondo. It's a double kill for General. And Navi in a fight that it looked like they were losing. Turn it around. The buyback from Seneko giving Ditchira the strength to run back in.
Look at the...
Oh.
The abilities used is like everyone used every ability more than once.
I think they used every ability in the goddamn game, Andy.
That was actually insane. So that whole fight kicks off with them going straight in, getting a really quick kill, and then between the Earth Spirit and the Queen of Pain, they land like 2 3-man ultis back to back. Like G had a really nice Sonic Wave, Magnetize Crystal. I'm like, wow, okay, VP are actually just turning this fight super fast. And then that one buyback from the Tiny. Or was it the, no, it was the IO. Yeah, it was the IO, and he tethers the Tiny, and they just start going ham.
He's like, you're going back in, boss. You're going back in.
That fight lasted so long, I'm pretty sure General roared 2 times.
I'm pretty sure 6.87 came out during that as well.
Honestly, that was insane. But it's like FNG was saying during the interview, against these teams, it's just fight, fight, fight.
It really, really is. And that's why a lot of people love to see this CIS action. And VP, can they go for the plays here? Can FNG do something big? Roll in from Navi, jumping forward. Ditchura turns around the combo. There'll be a Hornet as well. They've lost the Earth Spirit. Yoku on the front lines. Now he's got to back out. FNG going to get paralyzing cast with the Death Ward on the cliff. FNG coming back down. Has the last one to cancel the Death Ward. He's hanging on the high ground, pulling up as well. But now with the right click for Snake on the toss from Ditchura, finishing off the Batrider. Now the rest of Navi looking to chase for more, forcing a low hard dance back. And Navi finding the space here to finish off Roshan G. Is he going to go for the plays now? He's too late. Aegis already been picked up by Ditchura. Navi claim themselves Roshan. And another favourable fight there for the side. 19 minutes in, 19-14. Navi maintaining the lead.
Man, that was such a big thing for Navi. Not getting the Roshan taken away from them. They contest and they just end up losing, what, 2 heroes? No Fear and FNG both die there. Aegis still going the way of the Tiny. It's starting to get to critical mass, I would say, for Navi. And yeah, you got the Blink on the Batrider, which is nice, but General has Book 3 and Blink at 19 minutes. That is an enormous amount of money.
There's a bird eyeing him up, and Ditchura moving in. A lower dance. He's got the magic immunity. He'll be fine. And he's got his mates around as well. Bottom lane, Dandy.
G down, boys. G down.
No mercy for G. He tries to TP out, and Dandy blinking yours. That's all he needs ready to start making the plays now in this Invoker. Not that he hasn't already. I mean, he's 6-3-6. It's another shining game for Navi, and Dandy on his Invoker. Yoku. Line up the bottom. He's not got a horn for 25 seconds. And obviously needs a little bit more than just himself to deal with Dandy. Has got FNG making his way down here. Lasso will be up. But they know it. The ball there, spotting out FNG, and FNG backing himself up. I mean, what do VP need to do here, really, to kind of really come back into this one?
The thing that's really hard is establishing vision. Reload here.
Yeah. Yoku, he's stuck in the ice wall. False promise will be there. Find some time. Aloha dance, pop the fortunes in. Can they kill Seneko? That would be big if they can. Io pulling low, but now the region keeping him up. They'll take him down. Seneko now gone. Deafening blast from Danny flying through there onto 2 of them. It's going to be a mega kill streak for General. Now G jumping in the horn as well for Yoku. They'll find themselves the kill onto Dandy. Therefore gets dropped down. G's gone hostile, still alive there. Ditchura. Avalanche on FNG and Yoku. But it's a triple kill for Yoku, and Yoku's actually going to survive here. Yoku might just do with a turnaround. He gets himself ultra kill on the Beastmaster. General manages to get himself out. VP getting team wiped. And my goodness, that was so close for VP. They nearly managed to find the team fight that they needed, but Yoku still going down in the tree line, and they can't just kill those 2 tanky cores of the Beastmaster and the Tiny.
I think the biggest thing is just, I don't think there was magnetized there, right? Because it's off cooldown now, so he must have not had it for the fight. That is really unfortunate. I think if he had that, they might have actually walked away from that team fight with a win. And sure, the Spectre still ends up dying there, but he did get 3 kills.
He did get a triple, yeah.
Yeah, it's not...
Did he spend his gold?
It's not ideal. No, I don't think he did. He had the same items.
He was looking for the ultimate orb.
Yeah, maybe he wants to just go straight into the Manta style. But
I mean,
again,
is Manta style really the way against the Tiny?
Yeah, I think it's really good because if you haunt and you Manta style and you catch out the Wisp, your Desolate just murders him. Like, you can kill him so fast. And once the IO is dead, you're either forcing him to buy back to relocate into the fight, which means he can't save the Tiny anymore, or the Tiny just dies because he's not as tanky without overcharge, and you can kite him out a bit easier. So maybe.
Oh, and this combo that we've seen so many times.
It's just so strong. And again, it's the difference between having vision and having a Batrider who needs another hero to give him vision. Because Hawk is just better than what Batrider can give you with Firefly.
Yeah. I mean, I really feel, when this goes into game 2, regardless of how this goes, yeah, VP do take away General's bat, but the Beastmaster, as you said, the vision game is so huge at the moment, and Navi plays so well around it. Top lane, Dandy jumping in with the Tornado, Icewall as well onto Yoku. He is on his own though, so Dandy can't really look for this one and plays it safe, just in case there's any reaction from VP. And we'll hang back here in the sidelines.
I think VP needs to make sure they're sticking to 5-man Dota right now.
Yeah.
They can't afford to take like these skirmishes.
Tiny is coming in on the side.
They know he's there.
Yeah, Tiny, can he get himself in range? He's coming forward. No blink, but he's got that Yasha and drones. Fairly speedy. There'll be a horn, and yeah, Spec's going to get himself out to the sidelines because they've actually found Seneko on the back of this one, and that's the Io gone down. This could be a good fight for VP. Io gone. Arslan is worth the camera moving. That's the 2 supports gone from this fight. FNG, can he find anything else with G? Denny pops the Tornado back, holds G for the time being, but they did get the lasso off with the Batrider. Denny taken down, and VP finding themselves a key fight at a very crucial moment of the game when Navi were getting more and more momentum. And VP with that one start to shut them back into position. General on his retreat, blinking away. FNG tries for a flame blade, checking if he was up on the high ground, but he did manage to go down to the south. But 3 kills for VP and not losing anything for that one.
The ward doing work there inside of their own woods. It spotted art style and Seneko walking towards top, and then because the Ghost Walk debuff was on Yoku, they obviously know that Dendi's there. So because of that, they knew that the fight was going to be split.
Necro units, my friend.
That's a sad Queen of Pain, honestly. This has got to be one of those games where you feel so helpless as Queen of Pain, because you got dual laned. You never really had an opportunity to go farm anything. It's just been constant fighting. And he's even had to change his item build, going for the straight Orchid into a BKB instead, because he just realizes that if I don't have Magic Immunity, I'm just going to blink in and die. A really hard game for a Queen of Pain, honestly. Like, between that and the difference in the off lanes, I think that's just kind of given Navi just this huge advantage.
I mean, Navi, just looking at the net worth on their free, as you said, just this advantage that they do have, it seems to be never-ending. Even with VP finding fights like that, they're just not closing this gap between, for instance, the Spec and the Tiny. I mean, Ditchera, we have seen him pull off some very impressive games in terms of numbers over the last few days. He always seems to be at the top of that board, and today, on Tiny, it's no exception. And on a hero as well that we're not that used to seeing him play.
I mean, to be honest, the thing that's more impressive is General's net worth.
That's true.
The guy
You're
had a
off
harder
laner.
lane. He's almost got Refresher, Book 3, and Blink in a
How many minutes
25-minute
are we
game.
at? 20? What?
You want to
Really?
You want to just go ahead and explain to me how he has that much farm?
I'm calling hacks.
You want to know why Navi are winning? It's because of the Beastmaster.
Alright, can he play his way out of this one?
I don't think so.
Caster's curse.
There's
We
the
always
Manta.
talk someone up and then they die.
Yeah, but you know,
Sorry,
at the
General.
same time, it gives VP a way back into the game. So you casters curse somebody to make it more exciting.
Yoku's
you know what I
going to
mean?
be incredibly happy with that kill, ending that godlike streak.
That's a lot of money. I wonder if he just goes straight for Diffusal now, or if he wants to go for something that gives him more HP. I think Diffusal is so good here. Because you want to be able to hop in the fight, you want to kill the IO as soon as humanly possible, and Seneko will most likely go for a Ghost Scepter to try to stop himself from getting tunnel vision by the Spectre.
Yeah.
So it would be a nice item to have, just to say, okay, go ahead and buy your Ghost, because it's not going to do anything. You could end up going for the Glimmer Cape, I suppose, but you can actually purge that too if you're fast enough. But you have like a half a second
animation.
window.
Yeah. I mean,
That one's obviously much harder to purge, though.
yes. Yeah.
But I mean, VP, they're still fighting. You know,
They really
this
are.
is not an over game by any means.
Not at all.
And even given the fact that, you know, we've been talking up General, how he's had a fantastic game, playing from behind like VP have been is so difficult. Like, you have Book 3 Beastmaster going around dewarding everything. They've just been struggling to maintain any semblance of vision that they can. Hopefully they can make good use of a smoke gank or two coming up soon and try to get Roshan going their way, because we're gonna see how long it's gonna be in a couple of seconds. And a quick Roshan, maybe a well-timed smoke. Looks like Navi are going to be the ones going first here.
Could be more well-timed than that as well. As you call it, Navi. Let's see what they can find. A lower dance.
Oh, they got Veil on Note here. This is actually a good pick.
General is taking the Oracle out of the fight. Can he do anything to save himself? No, he can't. That's going to be one down. The cast the Death Ward onto Nofa, and Nofa is gone.
Oh dear.
40 seconds for those two. And VP need everything they can for these defenses. They do have the fortification, but Navi
Is under attack.
could potentially come in pretty hard down the mid lane. Let's see what they can do. G, just with the Sonic Wave. Trying to clear out some of the push, but Navi don't care. They'll stay there and they'll stand strong. Fortification coming out now. But Ditchera on this Tiny, slapping down the tier 3. Turns his attention towards the Rex, and there should be at the least a set of Rex here for Navi in the mid lane.
God, he like 4 shots to range Rex almost. That's insane. That was backdoor protected as well. Man, that is just... It's so demoralizing because you were really close to making your way back into the game, and then off of 2 picks, because the enemy team has Tiny and Boker, you just lose your building. Like, alright, well, so much for that melee Rax. But again, Roshan's up. A big opportunity here for VP. They can get one good fight.
And this refresher timing as well. I mean, we talked about it earlier, but he has now got it done. General on his Beastmaster.
Dude, he is so
It's got to be
farmed.
one of the quickest refreshers we've seen in competitive.
Honestly, I don't
On Beast.
understand. Actually, like, how does he have this much? I mean, obviously the guy's 10 and 3, so
Yeah.
he's got a lot of kills, but still.
Let's see what he can find. He's the one leading the way here for Navi, but BP keeping themselves out of Vision's way. Then I can start to come back up the Up the river.
Oh, they have the high ground advantage.
VP, what are they going to find? Navi, Artstyle coming around. The wall will be dropped. They spot out Artstyle. FNG jumps straight in and he's not messing. Lasso onto the Witch Doctor, bringing him in. General pots one raw. The Sunstrike coming down to lower dance. He has got the second one, but he's been silenced up a lower dance. Keep himself alive. But Ditchero with the BKB coming in with the right things, pounding through the side of VP. No fear down. That's going to be two. Yoku doesn't manage to find Artstyle, but a low hard arch. He's going to drop as well as Ditchero hits himself a wicked 6th streak on the Tiny. It's a 3-for-1. And they're good to go, Navi, down the mid lane. There is a buyback available on spec, but of course there's going to be no Horn. And we've already seen how quickly Navi can dismantle the base here with Ditchera's Tiny.
Yeah, one club building dead. And also Queen of Pain dead.
Denzi again, just with these combos, it's just perfect play upon perfect play from the side. And VP, as hard as they've tried so far in game 1, it's not looking too great. There'll be buybacks from both G and Yoku, but already Dendi is on Yoku's case. Popping the Wise Wall down, holding the Spectre at bay. It's going to be a second set of racks for Navi. And we'll see if they play it safe or stick around for more. They've already got 2 buybacks out. There's no reason for Navi to go too gun-ho.
They can just go Roche, honestly. I think it's very difficult for VP to win a straight-up engagement right now. I mean, Beastmaster being dead might make Navi wait a little bit before they try to go for the Roshan, but they can still position themselves around the pit to make sure that VP at the very least don't get it. And there's still 2 lanes pushing in all the time now because that middle and top rack are dead. And G just dead again. Just dead. Sunstrike.
G was always tanking some of the creeps or something on the top lane.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best game for him. He's 2-8.
Oh,
it's rough. To be honest, I feel like the team fights, it's not really, in my opinion, that Navi are outfighting VP. I just think that VP make the fights difficult on themselves because the laning phase went, I would say, pretty massively in Navi's favor, seeing how General came out of laning phase with so much, like having a very early book 3 and a blink prior to 20 minutes. And also the fact that I think FNG, even getting that 1 solo kill, it just felt like that 1 death and delaying his blink.
FNG grabs Ditchera. They can take down this Tiny, but Snakeho's there with the save. Brings him just back out to the side as well. He doesn't want to take Ditchera home. He wants to keep him pushing. They've got mega creeps in their side. Can they take it? Death Ward. This is an Aghanims Death Ward from Artstyle. Laying down onto FNG. Now forcing him back. And now Ditchera. BKB'd up. Slaps onto Yoku. VP crumbling. And GG is called. Navi do it once again. Taking the game 1 here against VP. It was a good showing from VP, but at the end of the day, just look at the farm on Navi. Their cores, some of them doubling that of VP's respective. It's a 25,000 lead. And even though the kills didn't look that bad, it was just Navi, as we've kind of got used to over the last few days and week or so, just playing the better game of Dota 2 and VP being unable to parallel that this game.
It's just that Navi can fight with such consistency because of their heroes. So you have this Batrider, and we talked a lot about vision, and really that's what came down to me is like not having something to set up for the Batrider other than Spectre. So who else on that team can grant you the vision, be like, oh yeah, we can jump this guy, you know, he's out of position, whatever. That's what the Hawk kind of gives you utility-wise, and the synergy with the IO is just on, I think, another level, whereas VP kind of have to wait for their Haunt to be up every time they want to go. Yeah. Whereas Navi are just like, oh, our cooldown's like half of what Haunt's cooldown is. We'll just go in whenever the hell we feel like it. We have all the vision in the world to scout you out. And it feels like every single engagement they're taking, Navi just have the better positioning because they can see everything. Yeah. So it's just like playing against an enemy with map hack versus, you know, having to try to find the fights on your own. And it's just a very rough road, especially considering, again, G did not have a very good game.
He didn't. I mean, it just felt the Quat was so susceptible to the combos that Navi had. I mean, we saw him getting roared countless times. They just needed a roar into a Sunstrike. And because of the Quat's just kind of low HP people, she was dead every time.
Yeah, he even died solo to Ditchera, I think, twice